let's go to page 55. Weston. 55. So next week we do have class, but then the week after that is Thanksgiving break. So it's coming, you guys. It's coming, it's coming. That's exciting. If you have a post-it near you, get one because we're going to mark this page with a post-it note. Stick it upside down like this, so the sticky part's down like that, and the loose part is up on top of that. And I want you to write the words linking verbs. So you know about action verbs. We've talked about that before. Those are the ones that have ed or ing words a lot of times. They're the ones that show action. But today we're going to talk about linking verbs. It's another type of verb, but you're still going to label it with a V in this class for this book. Okay. All right. Once you have that written down, I'm just going to move over there for a second. We'll put it at the top in a minute. Yes, Declan.
Um, so I just like forgot, but it's
Okay, that's all right. So it says a verb shows action, or sometimes it links the subject to another word, or it helps another verb. Those are different types of verbs that we have. In week 9, you learned about action verbs. This week, you're going to learn about linking verbs. A linking verb links the subject to a noun or an adjective. So if you think of like a chain link, you know how the links go together. So think of that with the words. So it's going to link the subject to either another noun or an adjective, and that's their job. Okay. Every verb has a subject. Even the linking verbs have a subject. The subject and verb SV belong together. These words are linking verbs. Okay, so I want everybody to stay muted, but I want you to read this list with me in your room. Okay. So let's read it together. Ready, read. Am, is, are, was, were, be, being, been, seem, become, appear, grow, remain, taste, sound, smell, feel, look. What do those last 5 words remind you of? They remind you of anything? Weston? Taste, sound, smell, feel, look.
your senses.
Yes, your 5 senses. So those actual words are linking verbs. And here it says, find the linking verb in the sentence. And then to find the subject, you ask who or what is doing that verb. And you're still going to write V above each verb and S above each subject. So here's your example. The princess was a thief. We have the subject princess, that's who we're talking about, and the word was is linking to another noun, which is thief, a thief, because you have that article there that tells us that thief is a noun. So it's linking princess to thief. That means thief is another name for the princess. Yes, Declan.
I remember what I was going to say.
Okay.
For the writing part, are we going to do one paragraph or both?
Okay,
Like
let's talk
two
about that.
and three.
Yeah, let's talk about that after grammar, okay? I'm gonna leave it a
Okay.
surprise for now. And then the next example right here says the fruit tasted delicious. So here we've got your one of your 5 senses with the word taste. So the subject is fruit and tasted is the verb. And then the adjective is delicious. So that verb is linking the subject to the adjective. Okay, you see how it links those two together. Now you can move your post-it note up here so that it's sticking above the page. So I want you to mark this page because in your homework, you're going to have some linking verbs and you might need to come back to this list and go, oh yeah, that is a linking verb. You want to check. Okay. That'll help you on your homework this week. And then there's another handy dandy list at the bottom of the page as well. Both places here and here. So linking verbs, they link words together. They link the subject to another noun or another adjective. Okay. Alrighty, let's go to page 57. How about Joanna read it this time?
She sewed
Yep.
a bag, a bag. Her bag looked similar to the bag which the soldier owned.
Good. Nice. Trying to get my lighting right here. Whoa, that's too bright. Okay, sewed. Does anybody know how to sew in here? I see that. Sydney does. Good. Yeah, I know how to sew too. I love it. I make curtains, I'll make pillows, I'll make clothes. I don't sew all the time because I don't have a lot of time to do that, but I know how, and it's actually pretty fun. So it's when you're taking material and stitching it together to make something. Sydney.
I've made a few things. Still working on it. Right now I'm working on a shirt that I'm making with my teacher because I saw him a sewing machine.
That's cool.
And so far I've made two dresses, one shirt, um, a pillow, a dog toy, and that's it. Well, no, and a bag.
That's
I made
good.
a neat bag
That's really good. Yeah, that's so using
and a
material
skirt.
and thread, yeah, and stitching it together. That's what sewing is. The three articles, go ahead and find those by yourself. Is. And then how about Weston? What about the nouns?
Soldier,
Good.
bag,
Bag.
um, letter.
Say it again.
The after the first letter in the thing.
Oh, another bag. Is that what you're trying to tell me?
No, 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 no. Uh,
We're looking for all
I
the
think what
nouns.
he's trying to say is sued. She sued a
Oh,
bag.
this is
Yeah.
sewed. Even though it
Oh,
looks like it's sewed, it's actually sewed, like to sew something together. So that's going to be a verb. So no, that's not a noun. Thank you, Declan, for helping with that. Bag is a noun.
there's three bags.
There's three bags. There you go. It's bag, 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 and soldier. Those are the nouns. You got it. Pronoun, Declan, there's only one.
He?
Did you say she?
Mm-hmm.
Yep, that's it. I'm glad you didn't say her because that's actually going to be an adjective telling whose bag it is. So it's not her. You're right. It's she. Very good. All right. Well, I gave away an adjective, so we might as well put that above her. But Trevor, what's the other adjective? There's another one in here. It has to do with the bag, like something about the bag.
Sewed,
Say it again.
sewed,
Not sewed. That's going to be a verb. It's talking about how the bag looks.
similar,
There you go. That's it. Similar. Because remember, these words describe the nouns. So they're going to be how they look or how, what kind or which one, those types of things. Now, sometimes a prepositional phrase is hard. You might already see it, but I'm going to skip it just to practice skipping it. Okay. So I'm going to jump down here to the who, which clause, and I'm going to have Sydney do that one. Where's the who, which clause?
um, it the witch.
Good. It starts with which, and then where does it go to the end? What word does it end on?
Um, owned.
Owned. Good. So it's which the soldier owned, W/W. And then Weston, what about the subject verb pairs? So actually, it should be Joanna's turn. I think it's Joanna's turn. So Joanna, where are the subject verb pairs? Let's start with the verbs first.
Look,
Looked is a verb.
so, Sue,
Sewed, that's right. That's a
so,
verb. I see your hand, Declan. Thank you for not interrupting because we want her to try to find them, okay? I know you know them.
owned,
Owned, very good. Those all have ED, so those are pretty easy to spot. Who's doing those things though, Joanna? Who sewed a bag in
um,
in the sentence? Look before sewed. Wait, you got muted again.
she,
There you go. She's the subject. And then how about here? What looked similar?
her bag,
The bag. That's the subject there. And then inside the which clause, who owned?
soldier,
Good, you got it. Nice job. All right. So now, Weston, prepositional phrase.
ah, dang it.
Well, here's the good news because we saved it till the end. It's the only word that does not have a label on top of it. Look for that word.
Which?
Okay, well, which has W/W on it.
Oh, who? I'm in two.
To. So that's the preposition. And then if you ask yourself, to what? What's the phrase?
Bags. I mean, to the, yeah.
To the bag. Yeah, that's how you do it. So that's pretty easy if you save it till the end. You can see the word. That's going to be the preposition. And then ask yourself what, to what, or with what, or before what. All right, two capitals here, and that's because we have two sentences, right? Put those in. And then the end mark is just a period. Not too bad. So just to remind you, read the sentence out loud. When you sit down to do your homework, read it out loud. I don't care if nobody's in the room, just read it out loud. And then you can jump around on this list. Find the ones that are the easiest first. And then it narrows down what's left, okay? Nothing's really going to have more than one label except for the subject. That one has two things. That's the only one though. So if it has a label, then you're not going to count it more than once for something. All right. Good job, you guys. Let's put away grammar and get out your binders. And this last week, you wrote about why opossum has a bare tail. You wrote the first paragraph. I should say that. Just the first paragraph. We broke this one up because it took us a little bit to get ready for this lesson. So I know what your question is, Declan. Oh, you have
I
something else to
definitely have
say?
a different question.
Okay. What's your
Um, Last week I emailed you and also I posted a private comment to you
okay. Okay.
about the paper. Should we have done a like not the story sequence chart but the real paragraph?
So your homework, okay, good question, because somebody else might have the same question. When you go to Google Classroom, do you know how to get onto Google Classroom by yourself, Declan?
Yeah, I even have an app for it, my very own app
Okay.
on my computer.
Oh, perfect. So you know how to find the instructions for the homework? Have you seen those before?
Yeah, that's how I also turn it in.
Yes, it is. So those instructions, and let me pull it up here so you can see it here too. Those instructions will tell you exactly what you need to turn in. So it should be really clear unless I didn't word it right or something, but most of the time, this is the teacher version of Google Classroom, by the way. But like the homework
Yeah,
that was due 3 days ago, 11, 10, 25. I always have the instructions. So you'll see grammar and then the pages you need to do, 52 to 54, and then a little bit of instructions on who grades it and how to grade it. And then right here where it says writing, use Roman numeral 1 of the SSC, that's the story sequence chart, for why opossum has a bare tail to write one paragraph. And then I have a note here. We will work on Roman numerals 2 and 3 in class next week, which is today. Okay. Each number, including the Roman numeral, is a sentence in your paragraph. Use the checklist, mark off items as you complete them, and it gives you a little note. Don't forget these things. And then upload one paragraph. So if you ever get confused, like, am I supposed to do 3 paragraphs? Am I supposed to do one paragraph? Look at the instructions and it'll tell you exactly what you need. Does that help you, Declan? Oops, you're muted if you're saying something.
And you can see, zoom in a little bit.
Zoom in. Well,
Yeah.
what?
Right next to the 11, 10, 25, there's a
Oh,
text box.
yes.
That's my, thing.
Yes, and I have not had a chance to look at that yet. So I apologize if you are waiting for me to respond.
Yeah,
Um,
I was waiting for you to respond. So that's why I like emailed it to you too. So that,
okay.
yeah.
Oops, that's not yours. Okay, hold on. Okay, I don't see the note in here. It must be in the email. Okay, well, if it's
It
super
was.
urgent, if you guys have something really pressing that you want to ask me, it's best to have your mom text me. I get those faster. Does that make sense? So just ask your mom, could you text Mrs. C? I really need to know what I'm supposed to do for homework. Because if you put a note in Google Classroom, I don't always see it right away. And if you email me, I don't always see it right away. Okay, so that's a better way to get a hold of me quick. And I'm okay with your parents texting me. They know my number. They can do that. All right, so let's look at your story sequence chart. Um, Does yours look like this? Kind of. I mean, yours is missing stuff here. Is that how yours looks?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Weston, were you waving at me for a second there? Okay. Because I think I misplaced the one we actually did. So the top one might look a little different than this, but I just want to make sure I have the same one as you guys. Go ahead, Weston.
Oh, I lost mine.
Uh-oh. That's no good. Go ahead and get out a new piece of lined paper then. You're gonna have to rewrite this. I think what I did was use a different one for a different class. Hold on, let me check something really quick here. Yeah. Okay. You'll just have to catch up to me, okay, Weston? Just kind of write all this in. You don't have to, well, yeah, it probably would be good to fill that in too, even though you already wrote that paragraph. But we're going to focus on the next 2 paragraphs this week, okay? So to answer your original question earlier, Declan, you're going to write 2 paragraphs this week. So we're going to finish up the story about why opossum has a bare tail. This week, you just focused on characters and setting, and we answered the questions who and where. And now we're going to move on to the next box. Does anybody remember what we talk about in the middle of the story sequence chart? What usually happens right here in the middle? Does anybody remember? Um, we talked about, do you remember, Declan?
I remember one of them,
Okay.
climax.
Okay, climax was down here. That's a good word. Remember that, but it doesn't
Yeah.
come yet. It's conflict
Yes,
slash
that's the one.
problem. Okay, so this is what we're going to write on the left side of your outline here in this box. These are our notes here. So go ahead and write this down in that box. Do you have yours, Declan? Oh, you're doing it on the computer, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. So in the middle box, this is when we talk about the problem. And that's what makes a story really interesting is when we read a story or watch a movie or read a book, the problem is what makes it interesting. And then we talk about like how do they solve their problem, right? But here we ask the question what? Like What does the character need? What does the character want? What is the problem? Remember how we kind of talked about Kung Fu Panda a couple weeks ago? And the problem was Tai Lung, this is the original Kung Fu Panda. Tai Lung wants to take over everything. And they get in this epic battle and they're fighting, right? And Po is learning how to do kung fu so that he can battle this guy. So the problem is they have a bad guy who's wanting to take over and they need to defeat the bad guy. And that's what they need to do. And Po has another problem because remember when he got the scroll the first time and he unrolled it and there was nothing on there and he's like, "What? All this for what? There's nothing on here. It's blank." And it really was a reflection of him. And he's the secret. He was the one that has the special power. Yes, Declan.
Wouldn't the bad guy and Poe fighting count as the conflict?
Yes, you're right. So when they're battling each other, there is a conflict. In this story, why Opossum has a bare tail, he has a problem, right? And we know about the problem. And we left off right here with Opossum asking, "How did you get those pretty rings on your tail?" Well, the problem comes in when Raccoon responds to him. And remember, Raccoon played a mean trick. That's the problem, right? So we're going to go right into that here. I'm going to have you do an R for Raccoon. And I'm going to circle the R up here so I can remember, oh yeah, R stands for Raccoon. Played mean trick. If you want to put the word planned mean trick or did mean trick or whatever you want to put here, but this is leading into the problem. Okay, he's like, I've got an idea, and he's thinking in his head, I'm going to play a mean trick. And then what I'm going to have Sydney tell me, what was the mean trick? What did he say when Opossum said, "How did you get that pretty tail?" What does he say about it? What did he say to do? Or what did he
He
do?
said to put some bark in certain places and to put it in the fire.
Yes, that's what he said he did to get his pretty tail, right? So you can put something like this. You can copy mine or you can put it in your own words. But he said, wrap, tail, bark. That's what I'm going to put. But if you have another way of putting that on yours, you can change it. But that was what he said to do. Wrap it in bark. And then after he wraps it in bark, Trevor, what did he say to do after that? You remember in the story? You can look back on the story if you need to. Remember, he's like, wrap the bark here and here and here and here on his tail. And then what do you do after that?
He placed his tail in the ashes of the fire.
Yes, he said that's what he did, right? I like that. Put that in quotes too, because he's still explaining this. Placed tail fire.
Or what you could do is like draw a little tail in number 1 and then put wrap tail emoji as I would do it. And then place cedar bark because that's what the specific is.
I love it. Yes, and you can do that. If you guys like that idea, you can change it and draw a tail and put the word cedar. That is a type of tree, and that's what he said to put cedar bark. All right, then, and we're still talking about what Raccoon said. We're not to the point yet where Opossum's actually doing it. It's Raccoon telling him what he did to get his tail pretty. Okay, so how about Joanna? What did he say would happen once he put his tail in the fire, what did he say happened to his tail?
It would have black rings just like mine.
Mm-hmm. Black rings. And he says something about some will remain white, like part of the tail will remain white and some will turn black. How can we put that here, Joanna, on number 3 using symbols and just 3 words? What do you think we could do?
We could do like we can write the word white and then we can do like a ring.
Okay.
And
Is
then
the,
we can do black.
yeah? Is the ring white or is the ring black?
Black.
Okay. Maybe black ring. But then some he says remained white. If we just do white, black ring, that might sound weird. How can we remember that? Is there anything else we can add here?
Um,
I like that word remain. Remember he says right here,
Remain, we can do like a tail.
remained white, as you can see. So it says the fur between the bark turned black, but the rest remained white, as you can see. So what was your idea, Joanna?
Black ring, like picture, and then we could do like white splotches, I guess. Like
Yeah,
in the paper.
I think,
Remain, and then we can draw a picture tail.
okay. Could we draw a ring maybe for a ring? Black ring?
Yeah.
Okay, I like that. Declan, did you have another idea?
Hmm. I could, well, we could do like play down, like put a down arrow,
Okay.
and then put and then like, and then draw like a coal, maybe, and then like color it in black.
For the word black
No,
or
coal.
just a coal? Oh, okay. We're not to the
So like
coal
put
part yet.
down coal.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, he did mention putting it in the coals of the fire. Yeah, you could put
And
that.
and then like Weston and Joanna said, we could do like the remained um black rings and then white splotches.
Yes, I
That's
like that.
something that we could do.
I think that's good. So if you guys like that idea, go with that. Okay. Remember these little keyword outlines are the story sequence chart. Everybody's might be a little bit different. That's okay. Do it
Or
makes sense to you.
or I have a different idea. What if we do black ring, like rings, the word rings,
Okay.
comma, white, and then draw a picture ring.
You could do that. Yeah, you could do that. Those are all really good ideas. But this is basically the problem right here is raccoon. Raccoon's the problem. He's causing a problem because he's playing a trick and he's telling opossum what to do. So now we're to this box here. And earlier Declan said the word climax, and that is the first word. Does anybody know what word we put next to climax? It's resolution. It's a big word, but you see the word resolve in there, but the beginning of the word resolve, resolution, or you also see solution in there. So basically, this is how the problem is solved, right? And we're going to put how. And I like to draw a picture of the climax because that helps me. Remember when we drew a mountain down here? We're going to do that again. Go ahead and draw your pointy mountain. It's a very pointy mountain. with a guy at the top. Okay. One side has spikes. Remember this guy? The other side has a nice big fluffy cloud. We got some arrows going down because we don't know which way he's going to go. And then I like to put those little marks around him like he's wobbling. Okay. That is the climax. That is the part of the story where you're not sure if the character is going to really follow through with burning his tail and hurt himself, or in another story, if the character is going to be lost forever, or if the character is going to die and get beat up like Poe. Like, is he going to die? Is the bad guy going to win? Or is he going to defeat the bad guy? So this is like tragedy, obviously, with the spikes is tragedy. And this side would be a happy ending on a nice fluffy cloud. Okay. So that's the part of the story where you're at the peak. You don't know how this is going to go. We know how this is going to go because we've already read this story. But so what did Opossum do, Trevor, after he was told by Raccoon, this is how you get a beautiful tail? What did Opossum actually do after he heard that? Hold on, Declan. Trevor's going to get this one, okay?
He went to go get cedar bark.
He did. He went to go get cedar bark and he did what Raccoon told him to do. So he started by, so we're going to put O for opossum again. He wrapped his tail with cedar bark. So how can we put that in 3 words, Trevor? This is when he got the bark, he got the cedar bark, and then he wrapped his tail. How can we put that on the outline right here for Roman numeral 3?
Wrapped bark.
Okay. Should we include cedar like Declan suggested earlier? Cedar bark. Okay. And then what, Weston? After he wrapped it with the cedar bark, what did he actually do?
Fire and burned his tail off.
Well, at least the hair, not the whole tail was gone, but the hair was gone.
Be
So
more specific, he went to a campsite where there was a fire,
a
a
bonfire,
campfire,
right? A
a
bonfire.
bonfire,
Uh-huh.
and then he waited until the fire settled down, until there were only coals left. He put his tail in the coals, but the coals were still too hot, so he burned his tail.
Okay, so back to you, Weston. How can we put all that in 3 words or symbols? Right here for number 1.
Party, hail, fire.
Did you say party?
Yeah. Because in the book, I'm pretty sure it said party.
Oh, they were enjoying a big bonfire.
Oh.
Instead of party, we could do bonfire.
Yeah, okay, let Weston think, okay, Declan. I like your ideas, but I need you to be quiet for a minute and let's hear Weston. So you got some ideas there. What do you think, Weston? Because you got red hot coals too. We could say something about that.
How about instead of fire, we do coals?
Say it again.
Instead of fire, we can do coals.
Yeah, I like that. So you want to do coals first?
Uh,
Or what?
coals
Okay.
burn hair.
Coals burned hair. Okay, now remember, if you guys have a different way of putting it, put it the way you want. Okay. Burn hair. And then Sydney, once he put his tail in that bonfire, it said his tail burned like a what?
that part, so I'm just gonna get my story real quick.
Yeah. It's on the back. That top paragraph is talking about how his tail burned
His tail burned like a torch.
like a torch.
So if we put tail burning and torch.
Yeah, I like that. Tail. We'll put burned like ed because we usually put our verbs ed. Torch. That's good. I like that. I think we're going to need a couple more here. We got 3, but we might have to add a 4. But for 3, um, Joanna, how did he respond? Like once he saw his tail burning like a torch, like that's a big fire, right? It's on fire. What did he do? What happened to him? How did he feel and what did he do?
Like he shouldn't have done that and he made a mistake.
Yes, and there's a word here at the end of that paragraph. That's a good word. Can you see it?
Panicked?
Panicked. And then what did he do after he panicked?
Jumped into the pond to put the flames out.
There you go. Good. All right. How are we going to put that in number 3?
We could do. What was it? Jumped as the word. We can do like a little circle for like the pond with like the waves and stuff.
Okay.
And then we can do like flames.
So jumped, the word jumped, and then a picture of the pond and a picture of the flames?
No, the word flames.
The word flames. Okay, that's only 2 words, so I guess we could add maybe panicked.
Panicked, yeah.
Yeah? You want to put that one first, maybe?
Either panicked or pond. Yeah.
Either one. Panicked. I kind of like the picture of the pond. Oh, you said panicked and then jumped. And then a circle with some waves. That's the pond. And then you said flames? Is that right, Joanna? Okay.
Yeah.
But we should probably cross out flames. Like, what if we put the word and then we go like that? Because it put out the flames. Maybe that'll help us remember.
Yeah.
Panic. Okay, good. I like it. He panicked, jumped into the pond, and to put out the flames. But we need one more. So go ahead and add a 4 here because we actually need to talk about his children's children and all that stuff at the very end, and they have bear tails ever since. So Declan, you get the last one, number 4.
Okay.
Okay, how are you going to do this?
Okay. So we can go like, I feel like he was like sorry. No. He was mad at raccoon. So we could say angry.
Yeah?
No, it would be burned, rest, life. And then we can do like a tiny stickman, like a bunch of like tiny stickmen. So that can be his children, and then his
Yeah.
children's children, and then his
You're drawing
children's
stick figures.
children.
That's a good idea. Anybody else have an idea of how we could do number 4?
Oh, and then add a bear tail, of course.
And a bear tail. What do you think, Sydney? What's your idea for number 4?
My idea for number 4 is we could put like a mad face.
Okay.
And, like we could do like
That would work.
And then like I like the idea with the stickman. I do like that. That's
Yeah.
funny. I like it.
That would be a bunch of stickmen, though.
A bunch.
Yeah.
It would be a bunch. Trevor, do you have an idea for number 4? He's like, no, just tell me what to put.
Just
All
tell
right.
me what to put, and then I'll put it down.
I might do maybe, I might put that word waited because it says that he waited and dot, 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 meaning like he waited for a while. But you don't have to put that. You guys put what you want, okay? That's what I'm thinking. Waited and then
Maybe that might work.
maybe um grow and draw a line through that like that. Like he waited, but his hair never grew. Actually, it should be grew. EW. And then maybe either the word naked or bare. I think it's kind of funny to put the word naked because it's
No,
naked.
bear.
Or bare, either way. And then I like your idea with all the, so I'm going to draw some stick figures like children's.
Just six. Six.
I'm going to kind of put them in a different row here, like the children's children. I'm going to keep going.
And then, yeah, that should be enough because that's all the story says.
Yeah, children's children. All right. So I kind of
And
used
bear
a
tails
combination of your
ever
ideas.
since.
Ever
And
since.
then
Yep.
I'd like a bear tail. And then ever since because we still have one more word.
Yes. Okay, give me a thumbs up when you're done with your story sequence chart here. When you got it all finished, give me a thumbs up. I know you're working on that last one. Good job. I like your thinking. Everybody had a chance to really
Done.
ideas down. Okay, good. And as we go through these keyword outlines, that's a rule that is now part of the class is you can make it yours. So everybody's brains works a little bit differently. So you might have a different idea than me or anybody else in the class, and that's okay. The point is to remember what the sequence of the story is. That's the main thing. And then you're going to retell the story. Okay. So you're going to write paragraphs 2 and 3 this week. I see those thumbs up. Good job. Now, let's look at the checklist really quick. This is going to be page 59, not 39, 59. It should be in your stack of stuff for Why Opossum Has a Bare Tail. This is really important to follow, and you want to make sure to do all the things under structure. But I wanted to point out this box right here. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, the fifth box down. Each paragraph contains at least 4 sentences. You have to make sure you have 4 sentences. If you need to add a sentence so that you have a place to put a who, which clause, or you add a sentence because you need a place for an ly adverb, that's okay with me. You can add. You have to have a minimum of 4
It
and have more than that.
actually been there before.
This is new for the story sequence chart.
Oh,
So it is
okay.
new. It is new. And then the dress ups down here, underline one of each. So this is where you need to have in each paragraph, you should have an ly adverb, a who, which clause, and a strong verb, just like we were talking about earlier. And then this is going to be kind of hard for you guys because we have the banned words say, said, and seesaw, because there's a lot of talking that goes along in this story, but don't say said. You can use a word like asked or replied or yelled or proclaimed, something like that, okay? Or described. That's what Raccoon does. He described, and then you can tell what he said. And then here, seesaw. Hold on, Declan. Hold on a second. Seesaw, you don't want to use those either. So instead of saw, you can say spotted or recognized or looked at or something like that. Okay, Declan, did you want to say something?
Yes.
Okay.
I am wondering if we could add like a sentence for like, this is the story of a like jealous opossum. or
That's a good
something like that.
question. I don't really want you to put a sentence like that. I think you're just retelling the story. So you're going to start by saying something like, one day there was an opossum who was greedy and proud, something like that. I don't like when you're telling a fiction story like this, stay away from this is a story about, okay? Just go right into the story. That's a good question because some students do that. Since we have a few minutes left, I do want to share, let's look at some of your paragraphs here. So let me share this. Hang on a second. Weston, do you mind if I share your paragraph on the screen? Okay, cool. Just checking with you on that. This is Weston's. Well, this is his grammar. So let me scroll down here. There it is. And you typed it. Look at that. And you already have a title, but you might need to change that later because remember, the title rule says you wait till the very final sentence, but it's a good title. I like it. So you could figure out how to work that in your last sentence. Okay, Weston? Does that make sense? Because this is just the first paragraph. And notice he has a lot more sentences than his outline. That's okay. You don't want to have like 10 sentences. That's too many. But you can have more. But notice how he has the word extremely. That's a great ly adverb. He has who. That works for the who clause. But you're missing a strong verb. You forgot to underline a strong verb. Do you see it on your checklist, Weston? On your checklist, it's on page 59. That's another dress up that you need to have. So, good news is you have a bunch of them to choose from.
It's a
And
strong verb.
a strong verb is a verb with an ed ending.
Okay.
So, I see a lot of them in here. You want to pick one and tell me which one you're going to underline?
Replied.
Perfect. Replied is a good one. So, you would just underline that as your strong verb. That's a really good one.
You could do
Hold on, Declan. And it's good. I'm just looking at it quickly because I haven't graded this yet, but I don't see any seesaw or go or say said. So you avoided those band words. So good job with that. Let me see who else's we can look at really quick. Somebody that turned it in. One of you did, let's see, hold on a second. Lydia Phillip. That is Weston and Joanna. There we go. So I'm not sure which one this is, but do you mind if I share that? It must be Joanna's. Oh, yep, it is Joanna. Is that okay if I share yours too? Okay, good. Thank you. So I see grumpily. I love that ly adverb. And you have who. That's great too. So you forgot a strong verb. You should have a third word underlined. So remember, those are the ed words. Do you see one in there that you could use?
limbs.
Yes, glimpsed. I love that word right here. That's perfect. So when you go to add your paragraphs, make sure you underline a strong verb too, okay?
Okay.
And that's the other thing I want to mention really quick to everybody. I see your hand, Declan. Hang on just a second. You guys are going to add to this paragraph. I don't want you to start a new paper. I want you to go underneath your last sentence here and then go down here and indent and keep going because you're going to turn in all 3 paragraphs this week. Does that make sense to you? You're turning in all 3 paragraphs. So you're going to add to this paragraph
We're
two
just
more
gonna do 2 more
all in at the
paragraphs.
same time. Go ahead, Weston. And then
We're
Doug.
just gonna do 2 more paragraphs.
Two more paragraphs. Yes. 2 more. You're going to add to this one. Okay, Declan.
2 things. First, I see, Joanna, that you accidentally did 2025 and then another 5.
Oh, up here on the date. That was
That's
just an
really
accident.
funny.
That's just it. Yeah, that's 20,000, 255.
Yeah, I messed that up an accident and I didn't recheck it.
It's okay. You
I
can fix
didn't
that. That's minor.
get out.
Um,
Then the other thing is the reason why I didn't turn mine in is because I would is because wait.
No,
What?
move on, son. It's okay.
Okay.
yeah, you already explained it earlier. That's okay. You can finish it this week, okay? And then you can turn them all in at the same time. Sydney, can I share your paragraph too?
I'm good with it.
Okay, thank you. So here's Sydney's. Let's check hers real quick. Awesome. I like how you left a space for your title because that comes at the end, right? At the very, very final sentence, then you pick your title. So that was good. You left a space there. And then I see the word who that you underlined. And that's the only one I see underlined. So you're missing ly adverb, although I see it in there. You just forgot to underline it. Do you see your
What?
ly?
What? Oh, it must have
Yeah, you have it there,
been.
but you
Because in
forgot
my
to
rough
underline
draft,
it.
I did put happily and glimpsed.
Happily and glimpsed. Perfect. So make sure take your pencil right now and or your pen and underline those.
I must have not caught that.
That's
Oops.
okay. But I love your paragraph is looking really good. So when you go to write your next two paragraphs, you're going to go under where it says pretty rings, skip a line, and then indent. Remember, you guys need to move over a little bit and start a new paragraph so that when you turn it in, it'll be all three together.
Seeing my mom wants me to type it, and I will.
Okay.
I've just been like writing it because it's just easy for me right now because I have so much going on.
You're doing great, Sydney. You're doing great. Yeah, you'll
Thank
be
you.
able to finish it. And if you don't have time to type it, it's up to your mom or your dad, whoever does your homeschooling.
My
But
mom.
okay, your mom, check with her. If you don't have time to type it, I'm okay if you turn it in handwritten, but check with her first, okay? Just make sure she's okay with that because she's in charge. And Trevor, is it okay if I pull up your paragraph? Okay, good. I see that. Let's look at Trevor's real quick.
Why aren't there as many people here?
Yeah, I know. I have a lot of people in my classes. And here's Trevor's. Nice job double spacing. Nice job with your name and date. Nice job leaving a blank for your title because you don't know it yet. I see happily and I see napping. That's a good verb, a strong verb. And then I see which had black rings, and that's a great which clause, except for you only have to underline which, okay? You don't have to underline the whole clause. Just next time, just underline which. So you've got your three dress ups in there. That's really good. So for you, after tails so pretty, skip a line, indent, and keep going on paragraphs 2 and 3. Okay. All right, so you're ready for this week. Everybody looks really good with what your paragraph that you started. If you're typing, go ahead and keep typing. If you're handwriting, go ahead and keep your handwriting. It's up to your mom or whoever does your homeschooling. And you guys are good to go. We're ready to write paragraphs 2 and 3. Are there any questions before you go? I know we're a teeny bit early today. It's actually a miracle. Hold on, Declan. I see your hand. No other questions? Okay, you're free to go. I'm going to hear from Declan and I'll see everybody next week. Good job, you guys.
Here everybody goes, wait.